My name is Sneha and I'm a support engineer at Interactive Data Corporation in Melbourne. I came to Australia 3 years back in 2013 on an international student's visa to study my master's in telecom and network engineering from Trobe University. I not only gained in-depth knowledge on topics like radar, telecom systems design, antenna design and implementation, base station design, but I also got the opportunity to work with Dr. Custovic on a number of IEEE and LEAP projects. While at Trobe University, I got the opportunity to volunteer as an events manager for IEEE. We were able to organize various industry lectures, meet influential people, and brainstorm ideas with them. It was during one of the networking seminars arranged by IEEE that I received my first job offer through Dr. Greg Adamson. And I worked as an engineer for Bayesian Intelligence, which is a startup company here in Melbourne, headed by Dr. Kevin Korb, and he is a pioneer in Bayesian modeling. Bayesian modeling is basically modeling of real-time networks given certain probabilities. For example, weather forecast systems. So these are basically software implementations making decisions of whether to take one action or another given certain probabilities. After about 8 months working as an engineer, working as a part-time engineer, I then got the opportunity to work as a full-time support engineer at Interactive Data Corporation, which is my current role. Before I get more into that, I would also like to discuss about some of the work that I did with Custovic as an associate development engineer for LEAP, which is a Victorian government initiative to bridge the gap between industry professionals and universities and students. I was part of a design team who built an antenna for year 11 and year 12 students. And as a team, along with Eddie, we traveled all around Victoria for about a year and a half, delivering these very interesting workshops where students had hands-on experience with robotic labs, iPad development labs, and the antenna workshop. And it was during these sessions that I realized that no matter how less or more our knowledge is or how many years of experience we have, we can always contribute, we can always inspire. And that is something that Dr. Custovic has taught me, not only as a professor but as a mentor. And to explain how I got my first full-time job in Australia, I did do a few things differently. First and foremost, I did not apply for a job every day a week. I applied for about 2 to 3 jobs every day a week. It takes quite a lot of time, patience to tailor your resume for any job that you're applying for. If you're spending anything less than 2 to 3 hours per application, then you're not doing it right. So ensure that you only apply for like 2 to 3 jobs per week. Do other things on other days, but just 2 to 3 jobs per week. I also use this really cool website called jobscan.co, which is basically like a repository of all the resume scanning softwares that they are there. So the first round, or the first round when you send your resume in and it gets scanned by this robotic software, which then decides if you match with the job description or not. So jobscan.co is like a repository of a lot of such softwares. You basically create an account on that website and you tailor-made your resume according to the job description that you have in hand, and then you upload both of those documents and it will give you a percentage matching of how well your resume matches with the job description. Bonus is that it also gives you these keywords that you can add on to your resume to increase your percentage. So I always ensured that my percentage was between 80 to 90 every time I applied for a job. And I think my my percentage was 85% for the job that I finally received. So that was one of the things. Third is use LinkedIn, pay about it's $29.95 per month, but pay that amount and get a proper job seeker account. It gives you certain added features. You can send emails to different people on the network, which is like a personalized message, but it's more professional. You can connect to potential employers on LinkedIn. You can request to meet with people, so you can discuss what the field is that they're working in, if it's the same field that you want to work in as well. So LinkedIn is a very powerful source. I also created a blog on LinkedIn about antennas, because that's and metamaterials, because those are the topics that I'm really interested about. It'll get people interested in your profile. If you're active on LinkedIn, they know that you're serious about finding a job in your field. Apart from that, try and add as many recruitment agencies to your LinkedIn profile. Try and add as many recruitment managers to your LinkedIn profile. Trust me, a short and sweet message stating who you are, what your degree is, what your experience is. You send that to a recruitment manager and they are going to add you. They're going to accept your request, because they also are looking for talented people. So that's half your job done. So I followed basically these steps to get the job that I have now. I still remember I received a call from Singapore from my current manager. He called me on a Wednesday. We scheduled a one-on-one Skype interview with him, and then I went to the Melbourne office. And before Friday, I had a job offer in hand, which was really cool. My joining date was Monday next week, so within about a week's time, I had landed myself a job. But I would definitely say that these are all the things that I did that got me noticed in the job market. And once you break into the Australian job market, being an international student, not having a permanent residency at the time, it then opens doors for many other opportunities. And I think in the next 2 to 3 years time, I wish to become an RF engineer, a radio frequency engineer, and be able to work in companies that do this kind of work. So that's how I received my first job in Australia. So in my current role, I'm working as a support engineer for Interactive Data Corporation, which is a finance data company in Melbourne. The company basically collects market data from exchanges all around the world, about 200 of them, formats it in a common format, and then distributes it to client. Now, being a telecom engineer, someone might think, why am I working in a finance data company? But this company has a truly complex enterprise network at its background, which carries this tremendous amount of data. It has TCP links connecting to every exchange that they take data from, and then they format this data internally, and then they push it out on multicast channels to clients. So it is my job as a support engineer to ensure that whatever data we receive from the exchange, that data is transmitted to the client devices. And any time when this doesn't happen, it is my job then to investigate. So we go back in time, do crime scene investigations, see why a particular device dropped data. And even one packet drop is investigated seriously, because that packet could contain really sensitive market data that a company is using to make some big decisions, and not getting in time or receiving incorrect information can lead to the wrong decisions. So that's how serious the business is. And having a telecom background, it really helps me to understand the various logs that these devices store when there's a fault, when there's a data drop. So I use my Linux networking skills to navigate through the network, find my way, hopping from device to device, and then finding out that one device where data drop occurred. So that's my basic job, and that is the most interesting part of my job at Interactive Data. Every day I get to learn about various different telecom anomalies, how networks can break, why outages happen, the main reasons why outages happen, and also how the infrastructure or how the enterprise network is basically built, what are the bottlenecks, what can we improve. So this is something that I learn on a daily basis, and that is what keeps me going in this job. That's what I find the most interesting in the job. So even if your first job is not the dream job that you imagined, try and look for that job where there's something that you're really passionate about, and then learn from there and try and build your career from there. So that's my current role at Interactive Data, and I would really like to thank Eddie Custovic and the Trobe University and everyone else who has helped me in my career. A big thank you to all of you for guiding me, mentoring me, and giving me the knowledge, the skills to finally break into the Australian market. I intend to stay here, so thanks a lot for that, and thanks a lot for watching.